Josh Sexton is a Liverpool podcaster. Josh, did you see this coming at all?
Not at all, to be honest, especially because Mo has been out of the team and I guess out of the limelight. Like the talk of him feeling like he's been a scapegoat, I think he's almost wide of the mark from the perception, at least, of us as fans, because he's not been there at the scene of more recent crimes for Liverpool as much as I presume he'd want to play through this and help Liverpool come out the other side of it. It's all sort of taken, I think, the entire fan base by surprise, really.
In terms of this Arne Slot rift as well, that it seems like no relationship with, for him to say that's quite a big deal to say out loud, Josh.
It is, and I wonder how much of that has been sort of governed by emotion. It's not to say that I think Mo is lying by any stretch of the imagination, but it seems like the interview that he's given there tonight is one that's come out of frustration at the fact that he didn't get on the pitch at all tonight. Arne Slot has been saying in recent weeks, he's been speaking in glowing terms about Mo Salah. I think one of the issues that any of us have had within the past few weeks is that really he's on the pitch to score. He's expected to do less pressing and less sort of defensive work than everybody else on the pitch. And because that side of the game is always going to be absent, if the goals are absent and the assists are absent, it makes it even more obvious. And that's what we've been wanting more from him this season. And I presume the manager has too. There was almost a point to which I didn't necessarily disagree with the manager leaving him out of the team. But then you see the scenario it gets the manager into tonight, and I can't help just feeling like it's a really bad look for everybody at the club, really, top to bottom.
Yeah. In terms of Salah himself, obviously a lot of chat about him and this comment that he's made. Is it a case of him chucking his toys out of the pram here, as some are saying?
I think to an extent, but I can also understand the frustration from him. I think where he kind of feeds into what Jamie Carragher was saying the other day, and I'm not sure I've seen the reference that Dan mentioned to Jamie Carragher before. I've sort of watched the video rather than read the quote, so there's some bits of it that aren't so clear. But what Jamie Carragher came out and said about Mo Salah as well, he spoke about his contract last season, and then when it's been going badly and he's been playing in those games where it's been badly this season, he's not coming out and being a leader of the team. And to be honest, I think tonight all that Mo has done, and why I think it's not a good look for him as much as it's not a good look for the people at the club that Mo is this upset that he feels like he has to come out and do this, is that he's coming out and moaning about all this when there is so much wrong at the club at the moment, and there is so much going wrong on the pitch, and then suddenly he's dropped from the team, and that's the moment that he feels like he has to come out and speak and defend himself. And I think that there is an extent to which it's toys out of the pram, but I also understand the frustration. I don't necessarily agree that he has been made the scapegoat of this. I think he's been the part of the team that can be rotated because of the attacking talent that Liverpool have in order to create more balance, as John referenced before too. But I don't think fans are seeing it as though Mo Salah is the scapegoat or the problem of what's gone wrong this season. It just feels like a deflection of interpretation, if that makes sense.
He did a lot of that sort of work. The culture changes when you have players of Salah's stature. Talking about some of the changes that Salah has brought with him, these are the sorts of things that people are going to be talking about right now, aren't they, as this news emerges?
Absolutely, yeah, and it's an incredibly powerful and poignant point that Nadeem makes there at the end. But there is some parts of that I disagree with as well, in the sense of him talking about breaking the machine, like the Trent Alexander-Arnold side of it. Well, it was Trent who wanted to leave Liverpool. That wasn't an Arne Slot decision. Trent rocked up at his press conference at Real Madrid speaking Spanish, so that it clearly was in Trent's mind for a long time that he wanted to go and play for Real Madrid. He talked about that as a dream, so that's not a part of the team that Slot broke. Andy Robertson was out of form, I think by his own admission last season, and Liverpool clearly needed to upgrade in the left-back slot, and they went and did that in the summer. Andy Robertson was the one they kept around, and Costa Simicas was the one they let go of, and they brought in the young left-back who'd been in the Premier League Team of the Year the season before. So I don't think any of us argued with any of those signings at the time. Yeah, he's had to take Salah out of the team now, or at least he's had to in his mind. But to me, is not the sort of biggest issue, again, as Mo kind of references in his own point. So Mo has done so much for this football club. The sort of counter to that is what I'd say, and this goes for anybody who plays for Liverpool Football Club, is that no one is bigger than the club either. Sure. And it means that anyone can be out the team at any moment. I don't believe Slot has done this to send any kind of message to other players, because I don't believe he's that kind of man and he's that kind of manager. I think there is just purely tactical thing where Salah can't contribute enough defensively. Slot is trying to be a little bit more cautious in the defensive element of the game at the moment, which is why he brings on midfielders tonight when Liverpool were 2-0 up and takes off Wirtz, who'd been a great forward. I think this is purely tactical. Mo has had an emotional reaction to it, and again, I completely understand that. The main thing that makes me sad tonight, as Nadeem says, this is one of the biggest legends in Liverpool's history, and he's so upset by this that he's felt compelled to come out, and I think it's not a good look for him, but I think it's especially not a good look for Liverpool Football Club.